Please note, this episode contains adult themes and offensive language. Listener discretion is fucking advised.
If you are looking for a discount coupon code for a National Geographic subscription,
I would pay full price. If you're looking for the secret to that perfect pie crust,
or how to nail that interview,
or a debate on current events,
ooh, then this is not the podcast for you. I'm Sarah, that's Haley, and it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and we're feeling good. Boom, boom, boom.
No, dude, you have to listen to the Pussycat Dolls version. It's really good.
Really? That's
It's
hard to
sexy.
believe. Nina Simone's way better. Anywho, welcome to we just fight. We just put this on podcast. This was the episode, so go fuck yourselves. Welcome to episode 11 of Rewind, a Star Trek podcast. We are actually really excited to be here today because today we're covering Ladies' Choice, that's Sarah's choice, episode Phantasms from season 7.
Seven. That's a reference to our previous episode.
It all comes full circle. That's what she said.
Full circle?
I was about to take a sip of my cocktail. I've already had 2. This is my 3rd.
Cheers.
Oh.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a gin and tonic with a squeeze of lime. Very traditional. The untraditional part is that the gin is Empress gin, which you got me for my birthday, and it is purple because of the elderberry flower in it.
That's incorrect.
Oh.
It's butterfly pea blossoms.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Since when?
Since 100.
It's grape Kool-Aid.
It could be butterfly pea blossoms, and I know that because I bought some butterfly pea blossoms. Holy shit!
Here we go.
She sells
line
store. When I was in Thailand, and it's the same dealio. I made like a lemonade with it, and it's like a gorgeous, super dark purple.
Fuck me sideways.
Anyway, it's not elderberry.
Episode 11, man. Fuck. Anyway, it's delicious. I'm loving it. Thank you very much. It's pretty. Yeah.
And when you put the lime in, or the tonic, it changes to pink.
No, still purple.
You're doing something wrong.
By tonic, do you mean that grease that I put in the jar after cooking bacon?
By tonic, are you talking club soda? Because it should actually change color.
No, it's tonic. I mean, it was like blue when I poured it, and then it became like a light pale purple. Mine could be strong. That could be the thing.
Oh, fair.
Let's be honest.
Fair enough.
There's a splash of tonic and a full 3 fingers of fucking big fingers, like Michael Jordan fingers. So. He's got big hands.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
He does, to palm the ball. Well, let me just I'm going to start talking about our sponsors. Rewind is proud to have Fansets as its presenting sponsor. Fansets is the place for amazing pin collectibles with over 200 officially licensed Star Trek pins and new releases every month. That's like 12 new releases each year.
Whoa.
I know, if my math is correct. Stay tuned for a special discount code good on your next order at fansets.com. Fansets, our pins have character.
Yes, they do. Thank you, Haley. That was really eloquently and well put. Fansets would be proud. If you haven't seen them yet, the June releases are out, and they include Season 3, Michael Burnham, and a Section 31 Philippa Giorgio or whatever her name is. You know who it is. I don't need to say her last name. She's like a Cher. She's Philippa.
Yeah.
Don't forget, though, there's also a lot of those really awesome Women of Trek pins available right now, too, like the Picard version of 7 of 9, which is my favorite personally. And there's more coming out always, and other rad non-Star Trek pins, too. So thanks, Fansets.
Thank you.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, Haley, let's talk life. How are you?
Oh, yeah. So this year continues to blow. And all I have to show for it is that I'm a year older and I finally think I know how to do my makeup and hair. Maybe.
Well, that's a positive spin on it.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Learned about dermaplaning. Don't tell my boyfriend.
Secret safe with me, sweetheart.
We listened to this together, which is the best part. Oh, but we both had our birthdays and it was so fun to celebrate our birthdays together after having not seen each other for the longest time. And may I just say, oh, for the longest time.
Boom, 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 boom.
Anyway, that's all I got. I'm not having the best, but shit happens. Life happens. Now you go.
Yeah. I am coming to you live from my tiki basement at 40 years young.
Oh,
so had my birthday last week. Haley, you were a big part of that. Had you over? Had some other ladies and other folks over to the house. We smoked 2 pork butts all day, so we could feed the masses.
Feed them asses?
Feed the masses. Feed the asses. Well, they were pork butts. No.
That's what I was saying.
There you go. I was gifted with
Sorry.
That's all right.
This is your update.
This is my update. Shut up. People want to know about the patio furniture I got for my birthday.
They should.
Red, and it's lovely, and I can't stop sitting on it. So, it was really nice to have people over because now that as of today, we're in phase 3 of our reopening. But at the time, we were phase 2, and people were kind of getting a little bit comfortable with new social bubbles. So I had, and you know this, you probably saw, I had hand sanitizer strategically placed throughout the house and gave people the option to I brought all plastic forks and stuff, so nobody was using anything. So I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, it was really good. You did well. And it was nice to see other people and still be socially distanced, but able to still celebrate and have some sort of sense of normalcy.
Yes. And the other thing that happened was I may or may not have been given a video shout out from one Mr. Jonathan Frakes for my birthday. So Haley, that was a little something that you did for me that made me cry. It was totally awesome. I was going to play the audio clip, but I read the fine print of Cameo and I don't think I can really do that. So either way, Mr. Jonathan Frakes sang happy birthday to me, wished me a great one, told me to socially distance, and he looked very handsome while doing it, and he had a big genuine smile, and it was such a cool gift. If you guys have never heard of Cameo, you got to check it out. It's a great way to get a really unique gift for someone who is a fan of whatever. I mean, they got everybody. They got wrestlers, they got sports people, they got musicians and notable potables and whatever.
You probably didn't watch this when you were younger, but the initial Power Rangers, there was Zordon, which was the guy in the tube. I got him for my brother's birthday to say happy birthday. He was like $30.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he was like, have an amazing fuck it. Just cut all this out. But it doesn't matter. It was really sweet and it's such a cool gift. And I really wanted to get a better gift for you than Brad. And so this one will last a lifetime, unlike that patio furniture.
Whoa, where'd the sun go? That's some shade that just got thrown. I love it. No, it was awesome. So yeah, other than that, life goes on. I'm just, still working at home and happy to do so. And pretty still goddamn proud of you and your team and the people that have been keeping BC healthy and safe. We're very, very, very fortunate to be here. And I have nothing but extreme thoughts of concern and hope for my friends in the South.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay. Did you do the quiz I sent you?
Yeah.
It's like not even Star Trek related, but I was like, this looks like fun. Thanks, BuzzFeed. It's a random quiz that it it combines 3 different genres to give you 3 different characters that you are. And it's like, which Harry Potter, Twilight, Hunger Games character are you a perfect combination of? Who did you get?
So I got what you got.
Well, that's great. That's why we're BFFs.
I know.
All right. Well, why don't you tell the listeners what that means while I sip my tonic?
So Sarah and I both got Harry Potter / Edward Cullen and Katniss Everdeen. So first of all, may I just say, leading character. You're spontaneous, passionate, and a leader. Like Harry. You're a wizard. And you're someone who charges into any situation head on. Like Edward, you are extremely passionate about the things you love most in this world. And like Katniss, you will do anything to protect the people closest to you. You're a natural born leader who feels most comfortable when you're teaching or helping others. Blech. And so, like, because you told me who you got earlier, I got the same. I tried to take the quiz again.
Every time it was the same.
I was, but then
you're a leader. You're an Oscar winner, not a supporting actor.
I can't help it. No, but what really happened was instead I saw an ad for Sephora and I spent $158 on some shit I don't need.
Online shopping. God. I had 2 deliveries today. I ordered 6 fake big plants for the tiki bar from Michaels. Thank you, Michaels.
Oh, Michaels.
Some it's sticky track lighting that can be any color for the tiki bar, so you can do like green or red. And I thought I'd put it like if we were to build a better bar and have all the tiki mugs, it would be like a good way to bust out the different colored lights and stuff. So thanks, Amazon.
The tiki bar is like the coolest.
It's fun, hey?
Yeah.
I'm digging it. We've been putting a lot of work into it, so I might redo
it shows. Yeah, good work.
All right. Well, we're doing this, hey? Who's having fun?
Sure. Hey, I am. I already. No, I still have enough, but I'll need a refill. At some point during
I'm going to take a big sip. How about after we do our gossip? We get some Cliftons.
Season 2, Buns of Anarchy.
Oh, Buns of Anarchy.
Oh, well, I just saw Jax in the shower after he came back, and like Tara was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I killed someone."
Oh,
and
man.
Got like his whole like real tattoo on his back that says Sons of Anarchy. It's real and real nice.
Mm-hmm. Really committed to the role. Yeah. I just finished the episode where we get to meet Venus Van Dam.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, slamming.
Tig is like in love.
In love. I love that whole Walton Goggins as Venus was just the best. And I can only imagine how hard it must have been for them to get through some of those scenes because he was so good. So that's season 5 of 7 that we're on. So Nero just showed up. Just pounding his way into that first episode, loving it. I'm enjoying the show more this time than the first time because I'm not as invested in it. So I'm like, when major characters die, I'm like, okay, that's okay. Like, I'm okay. It's fine. So I think I might enjoy the final season a little bit more because I was very judgy of it. And I've always been like that with shows I'm passionate about. Like when the Harry Potter movies would come out, I'd be so mad because they'd be missing stuff from the books. But now, like later on, I'm like, okay, it's its own thing. I enjoy it. It's cool.
They did a good job. Well, and like we were so emotionally invested in SOA and in Harry Potter that it's only natural that we were very judgmental because and I remember like crying myself to sleep when certain characters died. And I remember, like, for anyone who hasn't read book 5 of Harry Potter,
shame on you.
Yeah, first of all, shame on fucking you. Wait, is it book 5 that Snape dies?
No,
book 6.
It's the book 7. It's the last book.
Oh, sorry. Of course, 5. Fuck, what the fuck? Got a lot of.
You're thinking of Sirius Black, maybe.
No, I'm thinking about Snape. So
no.
Anyway, I just remember, everyone, and I think including you, lined up for the midnight book launch.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because Canada Post was actually going to deliver on Sunday morning.
The things people manage to wrangle out of some of these businesses.
Shit. And so I was living at home at the time, and I told my parents and my brother, like, do not listen to the radio. You are not allowed to go on the internet and like find out anything, because people are going to be reading this ahead of me getting it, because I didn't want to line up in a big line. And I got the book at it was 1:00 p.m. on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. And I just had a big bag of Miss Vicky's salt and sugar chips. I locked myself into my room. I read for 7 hours, and then I couldn't finish, and I had to go to sleep. And then I woke up and I finished it. And I just remember crying, throwing the book down, and then immediately opening my laptop. Starting a new fanfic where I'm like, oh, but Snape wasn't dead. He was in the woods, and he was watching a new student named Haley.
I remember after getting home with the book at whatever ungodly hour, I went right to bed, and then I woke up early. I read it that whole day, and then I had to go to work at the bar at 9:30 at night. I think I just showed up like a shell of the woman. I was just pale, and I was I can't function in reality. I just spent the last 12 hours in this world.
Yes.
Completely 100% invested in it. And then I had to go to work that night, and I was so shook and tired and just it's over. I didn't even, it was so out of body experience. It was crazy. It was fun.
Yeah, and there was
something like that again.
Yeah, totally. There hasn't been anything really since then where it's been edge of your seat, kind of how is this going to end?
Yeah,
because
I was really
such a
excited
saga.
for Picard, but it's then you just get one episode at a time.
Well, now he's just a robot, so whatever. Fuck, he can be alive forever. Just what's a robot? Just real Patrick Stewart. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Controversial.
That's the one controversial thing we say.
We're shut down. Oh, really? I got something controversial to say that's Star Trek related.
Do you?
I don't understand what the big fucking deal is about that goddamn episode, The Inner Light. I said it. Gotta watch it again, I guess, because everyone says it's the best episode, and everyone's always talking about The Inner Light, and I'm just don't get it. It's just him playing a goddamn flute. Don't care. Anyway, that's a whole other rant. We'll watch it and figure it out if it's good or not.
Don't fucking lump me in with you.
You don't know what that episode is?
I absolutely do fucking know what that episode is. And that episode is one of the best Star Trek episodes writ large. The entire series, believe me. Are you kidding? Has it just been a really long time since you've seen it?
I think I saw it when I was young, and I was like, this isn't fun. There's no cue. This is boring.
Dude, he lives an entire lifetime and learns how to play the flute. And then he comes out of it. It's a whole thing. It's so
The best episode of Star Trek of all time is Beyond the Stars from Deep Space Nine, and you can quote me on that.
I don't watch that series.
I know, and you need to, if you watch any episode of that series, you need to watch that episode.
Okay, well,
I'll watch Inner Light if you watch that.
That's fine. I honestly, no, I was going to say for my episode, for episode 12 that we watched, we should watch Inner Light, but you know what? That's a different episode. And I really want to watch a fun one with Q.
Yeah.
So, please let's both watch those.
Yes.
And you're going to have a different, outlook on Inner Light. I bet you $5 Canadian.
Okay, I have just enough drink to do the gossip, and then we're going to take a break and get drinks.
I like it.
Okay, so number one, and we're going to talk about this later on in the episode, but STLV has been moved to a new date and location. It's now slated for early December and will be taking place at the new Caesars Palace Convention Center that I believe is being built or is now complete behind the Link, which is next to the Harrah's. So we'll come back to that. Star Trek Discovery Season 3 post-production team has brought out an update on Twitter. The show wrapped filming in Toronto in February, right before COVID really got serious. So editing has been taking place remotely, and some editors have tweeted out that they're done their part, and they're all working as fast as possible to bring us Season 3 of Discovery. I know, I'm excited for it.
Yay!
Some new photos of Lower Decks has been released. The show is set in the TNG era, which I think we already knew, just after Nemesis, apparently. And there are rumors that maybe some familiar characters will be dropping in. So I'm pretty excited. I'd like to see some of the people that we know and love drawn in the cartoon world.
Very cool.
Not just like in a comic book, but in a cartoon and like voices and like that'd be really fun. Maybe get some Q action in there.
Please.
All right. I think it's time. Do you need another drink?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll see you in about an hour. I just gotta do a thing. I gotta see a guy about a thing. I gotta go to the store and buy more gin.
Gotta meet a guy about a dog. All right. Go.
Oh, it's dark.
Ankle crack. Oh, sleepy. Oh my God, crossover podcast.
I wrote this song. I could totally sing it. Do. This is Sarah's song. Nobody owned it.
What the hell?
Somebody else sings it on their podcast, and I sent a cease and desist. It's not even that funny. I can't even sing it. I'm laughing so hard. This is my song. Sarah wrote it. You can't sing it. Fuck.
Oh, my abs. That counts as a workout, right?
Oh, I'm crying.
Oh my God.
Do. This is my song. I wrote it just for this podcast. I'm doing like a shoulder dance at the same time.
I'm sure you did.
Okay. So for those of you who are still with us, thank you, because I know that the last episode was a little dark and we were in a place where we're like, this sucks. Like, I quit.
I don't want to do this.
I straight up don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather go to jail. No. So we decided that we were going to, like, as you know, do some fun stuff. And I think the first thing that came to mind for choosing the episode that I chose was like, I think I've just seen people like making fun of this episode because there's a couple of TNG episodes, as there are with other ones, that people just make fun of that are just bad and they're bad for multiple reasons. So I was like, I love that one. It's ridiculous. So Phantasms is not in my top 10, but it was just something I kind of wanted to rewatch. So I sat down on the day after my birthday, hungover with a blanket and some leggings, and decided to watch Phantasms.
We saw each other that morning.
We did, because you left your sunglasses at my place.
Yeah, and I like drove out to see you, and I was like, probably shouldn't be driving, but here I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Classic,
so
really.
We watched. I know.
Fair enough. Oh God, classic.
All
right. I gotta fuck. Where's my fucking synopsis? Okay. Hold on to your tits. Ladies and gents, I bring you Phantasms. It opens with a weird fisheye lens filming style, so you know something's off. Data's walking, and he sees Geordi, who looks good. Like, we've been on season 1, so everyone's really come into their own.
Holy hell.
And even Data looks good. I said it. Fuck yeah, season 7. Here we go. So Data hears a phone ringing and sees an old-timey dude, actually a number of dudes, working with pickaxes. They rip off his arm. Oh my God, it's an attack. Oh, thank God it was a dream. And look at that beard. There he is. Riker's got a beard. Picard's sulking because he's been invited to a party. And they're leaning into each other and all like just like bro cute, like
they're very close.
Very close,
like shoulder to shoulder.
I know. So many things have happened in those 6 years. I noticed that it's directed by Patrick Stewart. Fun fact.
Oh, cool.
Right? And then I noticed that when it's like Worf and that girl who's got a crush on Geordi, back off.
I know.
They all have different shades of mustard in their uniform. I don't know if it's just because they used older uniforms for all the extras on this episode and it just didn't match in color, but I was like, is there a reason behind that? So,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good observation.
Thank you. So the ship got a new warp core. They were at a station and they got some repair work done, and that's kind of the start of the story. And it's not working. Classic. So, that sounds about right. Like anything that in my office not working. Then we see Spot. Remember Spot?
Yeah.
And Troy looks gorgeous. She's got the big full hair and she's all like in a proper uniform, which looks really good on her.
Yeah.
And she's checking in on Data because he's been doing a dream program and he's kind of acting weird. So Geordi's a little bit concerned. So he tells Troy to go. He told me to tell you that I'm worried about your dreams. So Data is like, maybe I'll just initiate another dream sequence just to see what's going on. But let me do a weird, creepy yawn thing first.
No.
Hate that.
Yeah.
All right. There we get Worf. And like Worf looks good. Got the ponytail. Like it's a good look. This is the Worf I'm here for. He's eating a cellular peptide cake with mint frosting. And then the doctor is drinking out of Riker's head with the straw. That's not welcome now. What you're telling me there's still straws in the future? What happened? I thought they had to be paper now.
Yeah.
Can we get an answer on this, please? And then Troy's the cake, which I thought was so funny. She's the cake. And I always just remembered that. I just remembered it being kind of like such a creepy thing when you're a kid, but also kind of like funny.
It was fucking horrifying.
Okay, perfect. So we had the same reaction originally.
Oh God, maybe this is why I don't like cake.
Oh my God. That could be it.
Maybe.
Anyway, Data's woken up by Troy, Worf, and Geordi. I want to be woken up by Troy, Worf, and Geordi. He slept in. Something went wrong. He was supposed to wake up and he didn't. So obviously something's broken. But Geordi can't find anything. So he does because he does a scan and all this. So then somebody decides, I don't know if it was Data or whomever, I'm going to go see Dr. Freud. Great idea. That's all we need is him running amok on the ship is Dr. Freud. Anyway, he goes to talk to him in the hologram and whatever. Meanwhile, Picard is face to face with Admiral Naka, not gonna make it to your party. Nakamura. Thank you. I'm here all week. Picard has tried to avoid these parties every year. I think it's like 6 years in a row. And this year he's actually going to go because he feels like it's like a problem now. But now he legit has ship issues. And of course the Admiral doesn't believe him. So it's like a very awkward, like, I'm trying really hard to be there, but he doesn't really want to go. So the ship's just fallen apart. The warp field collapsed. Geordi now needs more hours to fix it. And now Data's in a waking dream? I thought he was working, but now he's broke. He straight up needs to go to the dump. So Data goes to Troy and he is excited to find out that he might have a neuroses, like a human. What a weirdo. You don't want one. The captain's all fidgety and he's bugging Geordi and Data goes missing and attacks Troy in the turbo lift with the knife. Very much like a clue. Which was scary.
Yeah, it was.
The music and like the whole element of kind of scary. I found that season 7 had some really good scary episodes. And this was definitely like a moment. Yeah. I have the hiccups kind of. So the scene though with the stabbing was a little bit ridiculous, and that's because as somebody, and you would know this as a fan of like true crime or like murder and stuff, it's like, okay, first, why is she unconscious from like one or two stabbings? 2, where's the blood?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like it's like I have a paper cut
it's
on my
right
chest.
Along the jugular. Like come on.
Yeah. So didn't like that. Don't like that. And then they tried to subdue Data, and it was just really awkward. It was like, no, I don't like it. We could have done so much better.
Yeah.
So apparently she lost a lot of blood when she's in the hospital, but I don't remember seeing any of it.
No.
Then the doctor discovered there's like a weird thing with her wound. So now Data's on lockdown, and he asks Worf to look after Spot. And he's just all like, Spot, come here, which I thought was really funny.
I know.
Dr. Crusher has really bad bangs. Actually, her hair looks horrid. They never knew what to do with her hair, and she's got beautiful hair. And they always felt like they just kind of didn't know. It was the 90s. But she finds out, because of that weird wound, that it's actually like a parasite. And then she checked on everybody, and everyone's got these like ugly little parasites on their clothes and on their skin that are like just sucking the life out of them. And it's a problem, apparently.
Yeah.
So they realize that the spots where people have the parasites match up with Data's dreams, like Troy's shoulder and Riker's forehead. They want to like go in and watch the dreams now. So like they plug his brain into a holodeck, which I'm sorry, that would be, considering the weird dream I had last night, like that would be really random and fun to kind of like watch and walk through your dreams. But like the doctor or Picard goes in and wants to kind of like break it down and study Data's dreams, figure it out. And yeah, I'm boring myself now with this. So let me see. They realize that the sound that Data would emit is something that's affecting the animals or the parasites. So they decide to emit like a pulse frequency thing to kill them all off. And it worked. So the infestation came from the warp core that they just got. And because of all of this like mucking around, the poor captain didn't make it to his banquet. So that's too bad, although he gives a little wink and a nod as though he's okay with that. And Data gets a visit from Troy, and he apologizes for trying to stab her repeatedly like a psycho killer. And she's like, no, that's fine, that's cool. But I did make a cake, and it did not look good.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I've seen cake wars. I know what people are capable of. You're telling me like one of those replicators couldn't make like a like legit good looking cake? Come on.
Yeah.
Haley.
So I have some notes as well.
Sweet.
At the beginning with the fisheye lens, when he comes across Geordi and they have an interaction, and then Data walks away and Geordi goes, "This ought to be a lot of fun." I was like, wait, I fucking remember this episode. This is going to be weird. Also, immediately you know something is wrong because these backwoods fucking folks are dismantling Data, and he seems like easily overpowered, and we both know. Yeah. Like, he's an android. It wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
Everyone looks amazing, like we talked about. Picard talking about how he's like fucking 50 admirals shaking hands, making dull conversation. I was like, that sounds like a fucking dream to me. So,
oh my God, sign me up. What do I wear?
Yes. Data saying that he's had 111 dreams since he started his program. I was like, that's so specific. Yeah.
One of the writers patted himself on the back for that. Oh, 111. Make it an odd number, why don't we?
That's 3 ones. The first, I have to say, so this is like my notes within the first 3 minutes of this episode, that this episode is better than all of season 1 and season 2 combined. And that I really hope that they got a warranty on the new warp core.
Oh my God.
When Data is having the dream about Troy as a cake, I really like that Worf chose her left breast. The cake. So transparent.
The bigger one.
Love her. Yeah. Mine's, yes, left. You're right.
Nope, I'm right.
Oh, how about that? Meanwhile, when Data was having a counseling session with Freud, dude, so we both did psych in college and stuff like that. I Googled Freud, and he was a fucking stone cold fox. Check his wiki page right now. I will wait. Look it up.
Okay.
I want this in real time.
Okay.
Freud.
It's on Wikipedia?
Yeah, it says Wikipedia.
Oh, I already have Wikipedia open.
Okay, so it's...
What do I have Wikipedia open to right now?
I don't know. No.
Yes, it's a person. Who could it be?
Nina Simone.
No, you'll never guess. Kathy Bates.
Oh dear. Are you okay?
Fascinating woman. Love her.
She was fantastic.
Sigmund. Good name.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's dead. Wow. The hand on it looks like me with my bad sciatic. It's like I'm just gonna hold my head.
but look at everything about it. It's a 3-piece suit. It's the fucking time piece with the cigar. He's looking badass. His fucking eyes. Anyway, I'm in.
You know, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
I feel like that's a quote from both this episode and a paper that I did in Psych 101 where I felt like no one had ever said that before and I didn't even reference it.
I invented that.
Oh my God, it was my ending sentence. Anyway.
Love it.
When Data overslept and he said his internal clock was supposed to wake him up, I'm like, why didn't they ever explore the option that he forgot to set the clock?
Oh.
Like, I make sure that I set 5 different alarms so I have fail-safes. John really likes it. Then, when Data's looking at that brick of a knife, like, have you ever... Like, the knife. I was like, this is not even... Anyway, you know, looking at a knife, you're like, I could kill... Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Take that out. No. Okay. Looking at a knife and you're... Have you ever, like... You've looked at a knife and you're like, I could kill everyone in this room, but I shouldn't, but I could. Intrusive thoughts.
Every day.
Yeah. Troy, but you work from home. Brad. Frank. Troy side boob alert at 29 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
Worf taking care of Spot. Sure, I'll look after him. Garbage disposal.
Oh,
immediately. Well, you know,
slaughtering pussy.
Well, when the doctor does the scanner thing and she shows all those weird, creepy things on people, I don't like that.
Nope.
And then the rest of my notes is, anyway, the rest of the episode happened, and you know what? I loved it. There was humor. There was Riker with a beard. There was cake for people who like cake. I do not like cake because I am not a human woman. This was great. As an aside, okay, so I had a question. What happens when you come out of warp? Like, is it impulse drive only, or is it like a hard stop? Because, and this episode is really problematic for me because I thought, oh, I'm going to find out like while watching this episode, but then they kept having issues with getting to warp. And then I consulted my technical manual, and the chapter on inertial dampeners said that warp doesn't actually create any acceleration stress. So maybe this means that they kind of maintain their cruise speed, and using the inertial dampeners means that there's no real start or stop effect. But I don't know. I can't fucking... Do you have any insight on that? I think I have my answer. So, you know, when the ship goes to warp and then they come out of warp, what happens? Like, is there, like, do they do a hard stop? Are they just continuing with cruise speed? Are they doing impulse only, or what? And then when
it's a hard stop. Because remember some of the battle scenes where, like, the episode, like, where Locutus happens, like, all the ships, like, show up and just, like, and then just, like, stop.
Okay.
But they have such, I mean, these are people that are, this is the future. So the technology is existing that you are not going to get whiplash.
Right. No. So the inertial dampeners is, so I think I kind of answered my own question because I have that technical manual for the Enterprise. And I looked at the chapter on inertial dampeners, and it said that warp doesn't actually create any acceleration stress. So it might mean that they just maintain their existing speed and that the inertial dampeners protect them when they come out of warp.
Oh, it's so sexy when you talk warp physics to me. I love it.
Do that all night long, babe.
Okay.
So, episode Did You Know facts?
Did you know? Haley,
Did you know? In this episode, Data refers to Spot as a he, but in Star Trek The Next Generation, Genesis in 1994, Spot is pregnant with a litter of kittens. Continuity error.
Big time. This was one of the few episodes edited by the BBC. Yeah. The scene in the turbo lift when Data stabbed Deanna was trimmed to remove the actual amount of stabbing. Apparently, it upset some folks in the U.S. Are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
Like, what?
Because it was like one stab, and then like there was no blood. I'm like, did he even get her?
You didn't even get the sound effect of the wing, wing, wing. Like
exactly.
Psycho.
When Data reports that the warp field has collapsed, the screen behind him shows the warp field is doing just fine.
Totally fine.
Continuity error.
Fail. When Data is dreaming in the opening sequence and the workmen rip his left arm off, you can clearly see Brent Spiner's real left arm get ripped off and get tucked away inside the front of his uniform. Fail. Brent, come on.
Figure it out.
You got this. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Rip it off. Commit. Lean in.
Give it all you got.
There you go. Finally, when Riker and Worf discover Data stabbing Troy, Data turns and attempts to stab Riker in the head.
Oh, no.
Riker brings up his arm and grabs Data's wrist, pushes his arm to the side, stopping him from being stabbed. And then Worf grabs Data and pulls him away and holds him as if to restrain him.
I remember.
Yes, yet it has been established that Data possesses many, many times the physical strength of any known humanoid species, including Klingons and Vulcans, who themselves are a lot stronger than humans. Riker and Worf, and can I just say those backwoods a-holes from his dream, should not have been able to stop Data if he were really determined to stab Riker.
Right.
both of them working together wouldn't have even slowed Data down for a millisecond.
Well,
continuity error.
Thank you. And we've all watched Picard, the series, and we've seen the kind of destruction that these synthetic synths can do. Synthetic life forms are strong.
Yeah, especially that one bitch. Fuck her.
Oof. Anyway, best episode ever. Love it.
Loved
to all y'all who hate it, you know what? Watch it again. Have a couple of gin and tonics. You'll love it. I give this episode 4 spatulas full of fucking mint frosting and 12 Riker straws. Ones, bitches.
Deal with it.
Haley, would you rather eat a Troy cake or a Data cake?
So I don't want to knock Troy's attempt at making a cake, but it did not look appetizing.
No.
And it was also possibly made out of metal and plastic and other components of an android.
Yeah.
And so you know what? This is a bad question for me because I haven't eaten cake in like 30 years. I don't like it.
Okay.
You?
Well, mint frosting doesn't sound very good to me.
No.
So I might take a chance with the Data cake just with hopes that there might be chocolate.
And maybe...
And if Troy loves chocolate, so she made it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. She loves chocolate when she's eating that sundae in that, the movie.
Get a room.
Also, no kidding. I was like, what are the tingling feelings I'm feeling?
Is this why I feel so good?
Is this why I feel so strange? Also, I saw a screen cap of Wesley from season 7 or whatever, and I'm still like, hello.
Shook.
Like, Nope.
But would you? Okay, here's a good. Would you rather? Haley.
Yeah.
Haley.
Oh shit!
Beep that out. It doesn't matter at this point.
Haley Mueller, if you want to be honest.
Mueller. Would you rather co-parent Spot with Worf for a night, or be the captain's date to the banquet?
Okay.
Is this the best question ever?
Yeah. So before I said that the 50 Admirals talking shop would be a dream and to be on the arm of Picard, I mean, obviously I'm going to choose co-parenting Spot with Worf. I would choose the banquet so I can wear that gown that I bought on a whim 3 years ago. Like, this is real life and I'm planning for it. But I do have a gown.
Love it.
You?
I'd find time to do both.
Fuck yeah.
The transporters exist for a reason, sweetheart. I'd beam over to that party, and then before you know it, peace out, leave them wanting more.
Yep.
I got things I got to do.
Yep. Changing that kitty litter. I don't know. I've never had a cat.
Jingling a toy in front of the cat. No.
Yeah.
Anyway. Among other things.
Oh, it was such a good episode. I'm so glad that we watched it. And
it was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch yours. I think I know which one we're going to watch.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're right.
Okay. It's time to rewind.
Oh my.
I have no idea what that was. That was not good. You know what we need for that?
It's not COVID. I just had some gluten or something earlier.
I got.
You turned your tiki bar back on.
You can hear the birds chirping. Cool. Water. Okay, so for Rewind, we always usually talk about, well, we do whatever the hell we want. We ran out of Vegas stuff, but there's been new information about Vegas stuff, so I thought that we should discuss it a little bit more because it's actually really fucking interesting to me.
Totally.
Now, just I think it's safe to say we're not going because we won't be able to go because it's not going to happen because shit's just hit the fan and December is not that far away when you really think about it, and there could be second waves, third waves, fourth waves. Let's say in a perfect world that everything's fine and we're able to go. So why don't you start and tell me what you think when you found out that it moved and all that kind of stuff.
So I didn't know about the new convention center space, but I Googled while we were talking, and it looks like if it's not already available, then they're referring to something in Caesar's Palace. But like you said, honestly, I don't see the convention happening this year until we have a vaccine. We get that herd immunity. We shouldn't be doing anything in large groups. And I don't think the actors are going to be excited to put themselves in situations where they're exposed to a big number of people. the autographs, the photo ops, special events, everything would be different or not happening. Like, fuck, we're not even allowed to sing here in BC in a choir. Like, we're not allowed to do karaoke. It's a whole issue. So, like, sorry to be a Debbie Downer about it, but just being realistic that if it does go forward, like, I at least won't be going, and probably you too. So,
and I mean, I hate to like kind of move away from the proper topic at hand, but like, it looks like to me that the US is now kind of in that mindset of like, I'm bored of this, so let's just go back to normal. And now they're having like huge numbers, like 5,000 in California yesterday. Like, it's terrifying. It's so sad. And like, stop. Like, I know it sucks, but we busted our butt here to really lock shit down. And now we're finally able to test the waters, and it's great. Like, it's, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, there's things that we can do. And like, we're still like, the mass gathering limit is 50 still. And I don't know, like, it's, I think we live in a world where we're used to instant gratification. Like, I want something off of Amazon. Oh, I can get it fucking same day or next day or the next day at the latest. Yeah. And all of a sudden we're caught up in this. Well, what do you mean I have to wait in line to get into a grocery store?
What do you mean Starbucks is closed?
Yes. My I haven't had Starbucks in months. I'm not crying about it, but I should. And so it's like sacrifices that we have to make. It's an unprecedented time. Like, this has not happened in over a century. And like, we're just lucky that, so many of our, exactly. So many other bad, terrible things have happened. Wars in the past where people have, like, the Great Depression, fucking even 2008 was bad. Like, it's just that we have to operate in a new normal, and we have to be respectful and conscientious of other people. And that's not the way that we're used to operating. And myself, especially, like, I was driving home the other day from my parents' house, because like, I opened my bubble to them the other like month to finally hug them. And I'm driving along the coast, and everyone is out. Oh yeah. Because like, they're tired. Like, people have been inside for months, and they just want to go out and congregate and be normal and feel normal. But like, it's so dangerous. We don't have a treatment for this fucking disease.
I know.
And
I know. It's crazy.
It's mental. So all that being said, the Rio smelled gross. I didn't like it. So I'm happy for it to move anywhere else, especially onto the Strip, where it's more accessible. We can do other things. It took me fucking like an hour to get to fucking Ross one morning. And I was like, I just want to go. If it's on the Strip and the monorail is running, like,
how hard is it?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like being on the actual Strip, I think I like the Rio says that they're on the Strip. They're not. They're not. Yeah, you're not. If I have to take an Uber from fucking the Encore to get there, then you're not on the Strip. If I have to travel across a goddamn interstate highway, you're not on the Strip.
Yeah.
So
if walking there, I go through 4 different territories owned by the Mafia and MC and another gang, then it's too far.
I'm out.
I don't have enough colors for this.
Exactly.
So I feel safe.
It's always kind of been off Strip, right? Like, it was at the Hilton before.
But the monorail, at least.
Yeah, and the Hilton had the goddamn experience, and the Space Quest bar. You did not have to leave that hotel. No. It was Star Trek Central.
There was fucking pizza, some slots, and a fucking hamburger.
Oh, for sure. And like the gift shop that was like, I will not take this $10 bill because this is counterfeit. And I was like, what? Remember? And then I was like, I Googled, I'm like, it is a felony to have this bill. $10. And back then that was like $23 Canadian. Oh, God. Anyway, I ended up putting it into a vending machine and it worked. But someone definitely passed me like a piece of paper with a $10 bill printed on it in the vendor room. Fuck you.
Classic.
What do you think about the new con?
I dorked it up and did a pros and cons list. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
So I'm going to do cons first.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know. Let's do cons first. Okay. So the con, you are less likely to see the actors outside convention hours hanging out at the hotel bar and stuff because it's not at a hotel.
Yeah, and they're not isolated.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't corner them and be like, you have to hang out with us now. There's a less of a community feel with like other convention attendees because it's like such a big fancy convention center, and it's like it's just too big almost. And everyone will stay at different hotels, so you don't really kind of have that like family feel of like we're all here together off the strip like doing our own thing. And then like you're going to be too close to like just other random Vegas like vacationers
Bullshit.
who are going to be all judgy and shit and making fun of people. So it's like it makes it seem like less private and like a personal party, because I find that that's what the Rio and the Hilton, like the Hilton, of course, because it was already a theme. So like if you know what you get when you're walking in there, and the Rio we just took over. So, and you'd always see like, oh, there's Renee getting a coffee in the morning, and there's Jonathan Frakes having a smoke at the bar, and I just really want to bother him right now, but I'm not gonna. Casey Biggs talking at me from across the bar. That might not happen with this, right? So those were kind of the things that I was like, damn, like I love that part of it.
Totally.
The pros, though, of course, the Rio was tired and old and infected. The strip is awesome, and there's so many other things to do. You have suddenly tons more for shopping, for food, for drinks, for grocery shopping, for hotel options. Some of the hotels are cheap, some are expensive. It depends on what you want to do. And it's just something new and modern, and I try not to hate change and embrace change, but I'm a leaning more towards kind of like bummed out, just because even if it was at like Mandalay Bay or Caesar's Palace, I'd be happier because they have a convention center within the hotel,
right?
And therefore you're more likely to have everyone. Of course, like if it's right where it's located, people are going to stay at the Lincoln Harrah's. Like the majority, like a good chunk of people will, and the Harrah's is usually really reasonable. But yeah, it's still just kind of like I'm like, if I was in cosplay and I was going from the Harrah's outside to the convention center in the blasting August heat amongst people, around people who don't know what's going on, I'd be really uncomfortable because I'm very like I get easily like self-conscious that way, right? So
yeah,
that's the thing that I'm kind of like, oh, that's lame.
Also, December is going to be cold.
Ooh, that's right. It's not August. Well, I mean, it could be because of next time.
But like at the same time, like it's also a downer because it's like it's cold.
No, it's not that cold in December. Well, I mean, I've been there in November and it's fine. It's nice. It gets cold at night.
Yeah.
Pools are closed, but I'm not going to a pool.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck am I going to do at a pool? Pay 3 times the price for a goddamn drink?
I know. And
where do you hide a flask when you're wearing a goddamn bathing suit?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my colostomy bag. Actually, that could work.
That's my support flask. I need it.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's 8:46. I finished my second drink. You did it.
Yeah.
We had fun. This was fun.
We always have fun.
Oh my god.
You and me.
Watching good episodes.
I know. I started watching fuck season 1 in the face. I started watching, oh god, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one where like they get stuck in a time loop and Data's dealing.
Oh, cause and effect?
Cause and effect. So good. Yeah. So I watched that after this one because I was like, you know what? I'm not done watching good Trek. I need to continue.
I want to watch my number 1 favorite episode now. And my number 2.
I want to know what they are, but I also want to be surprised.
Oh my god. Does it really matter?
Tell me.
Number 2, and we referenced it tonight, is Genesis. Because it was scary. It was good and scary. Do you remember that episode?
No.
That's the one where they de-evolve. Because Barkley gets a disease like a spider and warps. Yes.
I don't like it.
It's spooky.
Yeah.
My favorite episode of all time is Lower Decks, where you get the perspective of the ensigns hanging out and the girl pretends to be abducted and she was taking all those courses, like the calisthenics from Worf, and then she dies at the end because she did like pretended she was a Bajoran she was doing like a mission. Oh, it's like the best episode.
I don't recall
all the perspective of ensigns, and they're hanging out in 10 forward and they're like, oh my god, there's Riker, like he's so scary. It's so good. It's season 7 too.
Oh man,
the best episode in my opinion.
What I noticed, one of the biggest differences between season 1 and Phantasms that we watched is the humor and the kind of like ease of the characters and actors, like the way that they're interacting, because
they're a family.
Exactly. Of course, that's not going to happen in the first season. They're still learning. They don't know each other. They're learning their characters, but like in Frosting, I was like, oh, geez. Like, it's just.
Yeah. You hear about it now, how like every Christmas the cast gets together. Like they're best friends with each other. They bonded on that set and have always remained close, and you just see it grow throughout the season. So yeah, when they're sitting close to each other and they're just, they're just having the best time ever, and they're milking it because it's their last season.
Totally.
And they're never going to be able to be together like that, right? It's so
except for the movies.
Well, yeah.
But let's
do another movie, please. Come on.
Oh my God. I know. I remember like Nemesis. I'm like, Riker's having a time getting around.
Blue skies.
Smiling at me.
Seriously?
Yeah, he is.
Oh my God. All right. We have to thank some folks. Close this down. What do you think?
Yes.
Social media. Guess what? I deleted everything, fuckers. I am no longer on Facebook. We no longer have an Instagram, but we still do have our Twitter at Trek Rewind. And that's where you'll find anything to do with Trek Rewind, a Star Trek podcast. That's where I'll put photos and just kind of like fun stuff. I'm just kind of over all of it. So sorry, not sorry. So that's that. There's also obviously on Facebook, if you're on Facebook and you want to be a part of the Trek Geeks community, there's Camp Kittimer, and they have the Trek Geeks page, of course, too, where you can find out about the other awesome shows that are on the podcast network, which is growing all the time. There's some really cool new stuff happening, so check it out on the website, trekgeeks.com, or join the Patreon, and you can get some exclusive like footage that you haven't listened to. That's like us just kind of cursing and swearing and trying to decide if we're recording or not. It's really fun. No, it's not. But you can also check out like 5 Year Mission, who have the music for this, which is really awesome. So thank you, 5 Year Mission. And there's links to fan sets and other things like that. So check it out. Thanks, Bill and Dan, just for letting us kind of do our thing and not rushing us and letting us work at the pace that we can work at during these weird times. We really appreciate it. We love being a part of it. Congratulations on what you did with Mr. Jonathan Frakes recently, and all the work that you're doing to raise money for Feeding America and everything, and taking a stance on Black Lives Matters, because that's a very important thing right now. And I'm loving to be a part of a group that actually is not afraid to talk about it. So that's great.
Absolutely.
And I think that's about it. Our discount code. Oh,
yes. Yeah. No.
Go ahead. Say it.
That's it.
What is it?
Rewind.
In caps. That's like
it's in all caps.
Big letters. All caps. Rewind.
REEW. Silent E. R_IND. Upside down !
69.
No, you guys, it's Rewind, all in caps. Get 15% off from fan sets, dude. Like, why wouldn't you?
Totally.
They're so kind.
Oh, yeah. I'm that 7 to 9 pin's kind of looking at me. I think I need it.
Yeah.
I think you'd look good hanging out with Janeway, because deep down they were totally meant to be a couple. Oh my God.
Totally.
Sign me up.
Please.
Oof, there's a whole other story. Write that one down. And also going to throw in Olivia Benson in there, just as a part of the awesome three. So there's a crossover I've got in my head going on right now. So there's a crime that's committed that we think. Boom, boom. Did we forget anything? I don't think we forgot anything.
No.
All right. I guess that means that 5 Year Mission can play us off. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
12, where we're going to do Haley's favorite episode.
TBT.
Ooh, it's gonna have Q. Hey, you can't sing that song. I can sing this song. It's my song. It's Q song. Do Q. All right. To infinity and beyond.
And
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.